Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram RPG podcast. This is Wings of Kani, episode 9, Racer.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic.
Galdo, I'm 2 minutes out. Package secured. Get the engine warmed up. Rij glances over his shoulder to make sure the damaged Black Imperial R3 astromech was still in the back of the land speeder. He weaves left and right around old-growth trees that are so common in the Kani forests. Bolts of red blaster fire whiz by his head, the 2 Imperial scout swoops closing in behind. Approaching 2 fallen trees blocking the way, Rij reverses his right thruster at the last moment, sending his speeder into a drifting right turn. The side of the speeder smashed into the dead branches, debris flying into the air behind him. One of the swoops, not paying attention to what was ahead, explodes as they run full speed into the mighty trunk. More blaster fire from the surviving Imperial, scoring hits against the hull plate and the branches around Rij. The forest falls away in a flash around them, opening up to the grassy plain. Rij pushes the speeder into full power, diverting as much energy as he could to the boosters. The Imperial swoop closes in, but just before it can get a firing solution on the speeder, Rij cuts power to the repulsor lift and banks hard left. The belly of the land speeder skids across the grass until it hits the top of a cliff edge, barely hanging onto solid ground. Behind, the swoop is helpless as it sails off the edge, falling 50 meters to the rocky shore below. Rij powers the repulsor lift back on and heads to the rendezvous with the Wandering Star. Caldo helps Rij pull the damaged R3 unit into the cargo hold.
Are you sure we can get this thing working again? We need its memory core.
Yeah, don't you worry. Once I get it back to New Tauros, I can replace the head unit and some panels, and it'll be good as new. The imps sure are planning something. The forward operating base is packing up and leaving. I did pull some data from the droid before it got fried. You ever hear of something called Base Delta Zero?
For millennia, the Takani lived in peace, in communion with their homeworld of Kani. The Galactic Civil War forced the Takani to leave their home. Together with the Kida and the 11 synthetic Venko, the denizens of Kani and their fleet gather unlikely allies in their search for a new home.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram RPG podcast. My name is Devin, and mind tricks don't work on me, only money.
Hey everyone, Dan here playing Zeta the Venko.
Hey folks, it's John. I am playing Rij Kantari the Gearhead and S3RV0 the Astromech.
And this is Jake playing San, Potato, Tavara, Jedi, Sith, Potato.
It's not his real name anyways.
Yo. It's your boy, Mr. Dante here. I am playing Lisi, the Twi'lek bounty hunter.
Wait, Dante's here?
Yep. And I got something else for you guys. My favorite Star Wars quote is...
Wow. Boss Nass. That's a good one.
Short guest appearance.
Well,
You're out.
Boss
It was nice
Nass.
to have you.
Yep.
It was nice to have you,
That's a
Dante.
good one.
But actually, in actuality, my favorite line is when Han Solo's going into the Carbonite and Leia says, I love you. And he looks at her and says, I know. Ooh. Mwah, Han Solo. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
You were close to mine with a Gungan quote, and mine is, No, Jaja, you say in big doo-doo this time.
I thought of saying that one.
That's
It's
the
a
best
powerful line. And just imagine writing that down in your script. Big doo-doo.
Nodding.
But
Putting your
you-
arms behind your head.
Like nailed it. I nailed it.
It sets the tone for the entire rest of the
Dear
movie.
God.
Nailed it. Oh, boy.
Hey, Jaja, take this one.
You saying a bigger doo-doo.
And big doo-doo this
Well, speaking
time.
of episode 1,
Speaking of episode 1, there's a race. 2 droids hold this piece of metal, some battery attachments and doodads on it. But the most important features of this banner are the 3 lights, red, green. We just open on a rip of engines. flowing by, and thousands of heads standing above. People just swing to follow these racers. The first turn comes up, and it's easy. Just a quarter left turn. We see Rij in the back on his custom rig. We see up in front, just right out of the gate, is Guido Cara in his large four-barreled pod racer. And then in mixed in with all in between, there are several fresh-faced young rookie racers trying to make their way in the pod racing scene. It's a tough racket after the Galactic Empire fell, but pod racing is back. Second turn comes up. Little right turn, but it narrows significantly. There's these safety barriers that sort of funnel everyone in. John,
Yeah.
Rij, how are you going to get a first quick lunge into this narrow track?
Rij is going to the first turn. He took a little wide to gain speed, but then he comes down this straightaway towards this right turn, and he's going to try to duck in the inside of the turn and use the pods, like the bulk of the pod racer, to try to push another one out of the way and get an advantage on the exit of this turn.
All right, give me do you have any moves specific for piloting?
He's going to use his jacked up senses.
Okay, new move you took?
Yeah, so I took an ace move, jacked up senses. When you're piloting a vehicle and trust your feelings, you may roll with Kani instead of deep.
Okay, on a +10, I'll give you some information about the next turn.
Cool. That's a 7.
Okay. You can either be a little bit slower into this narrowing, or if you are slower into this turn, I'll give you some information about the next turn, or you can jump out ahead. You can use that drift to push yourself in front of the other racers.
You hear S3 in the back go, and Reese goes, "No, I know, we're gonna get ahead. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry." And he pushes it, bumps against Ghidra, his pod racer.
No, you don't.
No, okay.
Ghidra's way up front.
Oh, he's way
who you bump up against is another racer that you turn and recognize is one of the racers you mocked in the heap when you found the Z95 engines.
Is that a shout out to Canada or England?
It's really for Andrew.
Okay.
I
appreciate it as a British citizen.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
I'm trying to be more.
Yep.
I appreciate the Z.
I'm trying to be a global citizen.
Yep.
In 2024. So
Is that why your name is Zeta?
I wish.
I actually on my little sheet here I spelled turn TOURN.
Oh, great.
To
Wow.
better
Make it forward,
conform
yeah.
with the proper English.
Little color, if you will.
You
Yes.
took it right out of my mouth.
Devin, may I insert a scene?
My favorite language. Please.
May I slide it in there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna
I'm
cut
turned on.
back up, but you beat me to the punch.
Okay.
And I like that. I like a man who steps up at the table.
That's hot.
We see a lowly street urchin, a little kid,
Plenty of them.
run down to the track right after the race begins, right after the pod racers fly off of the starting line. And he runs up to the crew chief for Manu and hands him a piece of paper. Manu unfolds it, looks at him strangely, and it says, "Check this frequency. You've been sabotaged."
Interesting. Give me a suave. Apply leverage using your
To
little
this child.
urchin.
A
A 10.
Okay.
Is there paper in Star Wars universe?
Nothing.
He just hands
Carved into a piece of metal.
He just hands
Paper
him,
steel.
he hands him his iPhone.
It's a hollow vid with words on it.
Imagine you have like this 2 terabyte hollow disk and you just have a little text file in it. Here.
Now, for the audience's sake, if you recall, the thing that he put on that ship,
Yep.
Dan set it up so that it sends a transmission to Guido's ship.
It's a little Bluetooth savvy. You made it look good. The man looks at it, turns to his crew, and just pulls them all off into the pit on the side. Up on the platforms, it's a sea of people. Everyone is hanging over these balconies, looking down at the racers. The wires, the lines that connect all of these different platforms. There are several gondolas lined up on each one, and they're all stationary. So there's none that are coming and going. This is way against fire code, but everyone is out here to watch this race.
Is that why Josh isn't here?
Yes. He hated the idea, and that's it.
He couldn't stand by that.
And he quit the podcast.
He's done.
Yep.
He's like, I'm gonna go firefighting.
Yeah, we're having way more fun without him here. So,
We're not supposed to say that online.
Poor
On here.
guy.
mwah, love you, buddy.
Third turn comes up. John. Rij. Address the characters. Third turn comes up. It is a hard U-turn to the left, and there's no barrier to the right. You see up ahead, clearly, Gidukara slows down significantly while a couple of racers pass on the inside, and he turns this big vessel and then quickly boosts and picks up speed. Give me an act under pressure.
Yep. I'm gonna use my Kani
Sure. Because S3 is feeding you information about the track.
Yep. It's a 10.
Okay.
So Rij says, "Oh, S3, why didn't you tell me about this? Full right engines, power to right engines." I know, but we'll make it full power. We don't slow down.
All right. Just both levers, and you push forward, and your light vehicle.
My left engine goes do out, and the right engine just drifts us across this tight hairpin turn.
The chassis actually swings out over open air before you re-engage that left
below
engine.
me.
Nothing below you, but besides blue atmosphere. Boom, 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 and you take off. You actually get bumped. One of that guy that you passed, that racer that you passed, actually comes up and tries to bump you, and he falls off. He tries to hit your chassis, but that dramatic turn that you take,
He misjudges it.
in the engines. He goes off engines first and just plummets into the
Reese
into the
looks back
abyss.
for a second. Tough luck, kid.
There's a roar you can hear from above you. Everyone up on those platforms, hands go up.
How the Tuscan Raiders get here?
I don't know. There's no desert here.
Yeah, don't ask me how the Jawa got there either. But it's a roar, and people are jumping, yelling. It's a celebration here at Orda Ibana. You see ahead of you an open platform. So you take that turn, that hard U-turn, and it sort of slopes down onto this, looks like a support platform. One of these central buildings, there's scaffolding all around it, which seems to be more of a protection for the building rather than a protection for the racers. And then support beams that support the upper platforms. So this is a pretty wide open space but there's just dotted with these support beams. And you see Gidukara has regained that speed and is pushing, weaving through these things, almost disappearing behind some of them. We go back up top real quick. Dante.
Yerp.
Lisi. You see there are there's movement, very deliberate and slow towards the electro flask, one of the cantinas that looks over the race. Now, you haven't seen these often, but you know that they really only come out when someone needs to be apprehended. They're KX security droids. If you remember K2 from Rogue One, they're these big black security droids. They do not carry any blasters or anything like that, but they are very strong. They're very fast.
Yes. Big and black. You talking about me?
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Okay. Lisi whispers to herself, "What is this droid doing here? What is this droid doing here? Can I... Wait, where's my thing?
it's because
You said it's approaching deliberately towards the cantina.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Can I ask where I am in the cantina? Does it matter?
Are you in the cantina?
I'm absolutely in the cantina.
Okay.
I'm watching
You're
watching the race very closely.
okay. So you just sort of turn to the door. You're in a position where you can see the door. You're maybe around the bar. There's a raised sort of dais adjacent to the bar, so you can still see out the windows, and you can turn to the door and see. But you see them just in the middle of the crowd, and they're converging, coming close. Look like they're gonna step into the door together.
Lisi looks for the nearest waitress. I hail her over. I say, "Excuse me,"
Yes.
and I slip her some credits. Can you find out what these droids are here for?
She turns and looks and seems surprised and gets nervous and goes, "Sure, right away." And she turns and scurries off.
You want to describe Lisi?
So, Lisi is, I'm sorry, Liv, not a space hockey, but maybe in the future. Lisi is a Twi'lek. I like Twi'lek. I'm a Twi'lek purple skin. Ooh, baby. Purple skin. I have green wraps around my head tails, or I can't remember what they're called.
Head tails.
Like
Yep.
Liku.
Liku, yeah, around my head tails. I'm wearing body armor, like full bounty hunter armor, very much inspired by a cross of Bo-Katan and Boba Fett.
Okay.
love this.
Do you have Mandalorian armor? Do you have Beskar armor?
I thought about that. I want Beskar armor, but I'm not ready for Beskar armor. But it looks like Beskar armor.
It's a replica.
We're gonna fake it till we make it.
Get it on the website.
But then I also
Wish.com.
I got the Wish Timu equivalent of Beskar.
They're
No
gonna come and
helmet.
collect it after 2 months.
Exactly. Exactly. No helmet, but I do have a I wrote it down. It's like a visor.
Cool.
Yeah, basically like a damn it, I wrote it down. Basically like a visor wrapped around my head.
You got pits.
Pits?
You got pit vipers.
Yeah, exactly. But they're up on the head and I can pull them down when I need to zoom in on the ops. Man, I wrote it down. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I look like.
Male or female?
Female, sorry.
Okay.
Female Twilight. But I thought I was going to do a female voice. I can't do voices. You guys know this. I can do one
Welcome to my
ridiculous,
world.
one ridiculous African voice. So, and that is Lisi.
Okay. And the camera looks around in the.
Can I make a real
Cantina.
quick start of game?
Oh,
roll?
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, is that a new thing you got?
I got a new power. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might need to know it here. Oh my God! I rolled 12. Okay, cool. I get 2 holds. I can insert myself whenever there's like a bad situation that's
Okay.
going to happen. Yeah.
Dante, I
Moth
think
to the flame. If I failed, you would get a hold, and you could put me in a bad situation. So,
Ooh.
so I'm just going to write 2 holds.
I have
Dante.
a start of mission 2. Do I use it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
It's
Do you have
beginning
the
of
same one?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's a bounty. It's from the Bounty Hunter playbook.
Perfect.
Oh, dipping into the waters.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I didn't bring my dice.
You're good.
Unprepared.
I've got about
Unprepared.
50 in front of me, so you're good.
Great thing about this game is you really only need 2 dice.
7.
You can't
So
seem to bring
you get
those.
1 hold. You can,
one hold.
yeah, you can be there when you need to be there.
At any time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anytime during the session, you can spend a hold to have yourself appear in a scene where violence is happening, or is about to happen, or has just happened.
Well, I like where I'm at right now. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the fail though. The fail is fun because it lets Devin
happens,
put us.
okay.
It
Yeah.
lets Devin put us
I
there,
choose
but
it.
not in
Yeah.
a good way.
Yeah.
Actually, really quick, we were talking about this earlier before we started recording. Just the idea of failing and how fun it is. Like
Yeah.
the first session I did with you guys, I was so scared to fail, and then I'm like, no, it's so much more fun when it goes awry. So, yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Yep. Okay, so
Welcome to Project Harvester, kid.
we were. Oh yeah. So I just paid her to figure out what's going on.
Yep. And she seemed nervous.
She seems nervous.
Yeah, like she didn't expect to see those 2 particular droids.
Can I assess?
Don't name the move. What do you do?
Can I what was I going to do? I want to know more about the droids, but I guess I want to investigate why she seems so nervous.
Okay.
I mean, that giving her a coin could be an assess roll, you know?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Well,
+1.
+1. 8 + 1, 9.
You've seen these before.
The droids.
Yes. They are security droids, they're only called security droids because it was illegal to make battle droids.
These are the droids you're looking for?
I was
These
just
are
about
the
to say
droids.
that.
You know that these two specific droids are employed by Typhon,
Okay.
the sort of the pirate king that rules over Ordibana, or at least this part of it. You know that these droids, there are several prisoners that are that Typhon keeps locked up in those pens right in front of his tower, and you know that these droids or droids like them apprehended many of them almost immediately upon arrival on the planet. But when these things come out, it's usually serious business.
Okay.
You have some questions on your assess move. If you'd like to ask any of them, that was just sort of for free.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Sweet.
And you hold 3. You don't have to use all of them now, just within this scene. And then if you act on any of the information.
I thought I only got 1.
What'd you roll?
You rolled a 9.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, you rolled a 9?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So
my
hold
other
1.
Yep, hold 1. Yep.
I thought you would have had more than,
Yep.
1 candy.
Can I ask it now?
100%.
What potential complications do I need to be wary of?
Usually these droids are very difficult for a single person to fight off, even a small group.
Okay.
And they don't need weapons to do it.
Yep, because they're deadly. Okay, I asked her. Does she get back to me? Oh, no, she's going to go
Nope.
investigate that.
Nope.
Okay. I am going to, for the time being, I'm going to pay attention to the pod race, and I'm going to closely watch those droids
Okay.
to see what they're up to. Also being mindful of if anybody's paying attention to myself.
Okay.
I don't necessarily blend in. I mean, armor-wise and whatnot.
There are plenty of people who
Don't fit in.
don't fit in,
Yep.
which makes it easier to fit in. The camera pans around the rest of the cantina. What do we see? Do we see any of our other party goers?
Where's San, Jake?
Sure. He's there. Yeah.
Okay.
He's watching the race on the hollow vids.
There's actually a whole wall is like a window or a
mhm.
couple of walls or windows that look out over the race. It looks like some of these places were built so that you could easily watch the races.
Yeah. He's just watching.
So Sana's there.
How many laps is the race?
There are 3 laps.
3 laps.
We're what, a third through one of them? Halfway
Yep.
through one? So you said Sana's in there?
San is in there.
Ooh, my first interaction. I shoot Sana. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I had to get it out of my system.
He's got a, Star Wars subtlety. He's got a cloak on with a hood up.
No Jedi.
And he's clear. He's in the I'm not a Jedi costume.
I just make a mental note. Try to incognito watch San.
Okay.
I think Zeta is standing there next to him. If he's sitting, he's just kind of standing there very passively watching the race.
Okay. It's loud in here.
He leans down. You see, if you're watching, you see Zeta lean down to speak or say something in San's ear. When should I begin the process?
Let's let them finish the first lap. See how things are going.
Understood. Devin, a brief flash
Back.
not long ago, earlier in the day, maybe. He's standing in front of the cage that Dio, his sibling, is in. And they've been able to communicate on a lesser degree. And Dio knows that they're working towards getting him out. And Zeta knows what he has to do in order to help manipulate the odds. In thinking about when he showed that power to stop a vehicle, he looks down at his arm again, and there's a 20 centimeter kind of fissure throughout his arm, a crack visible in what kind of equates for his skin. And he knows that time is running out in terms of what he needs to fuel himself, to eat, and to be able to manipulate the powers that he has at his disposal.
Sense of urgency. As the two Venko stare at each other, to anyone else, it would just seem blank, flat expressions. But there is there's communication happening, nonverbal communication that doesn't even require a telepathic link. And that quiet is broken up as a turn. Actually, that open platform, 270 degrees, it spins around. How do you tackle it?
It's a 270-degree turn.
Yes. There's this big circular platform.
Oh, and you have to go
platform,
around it.
And you have to go around. It is a big structure. There's a huge structure, and you have to go all the way around it.
Is this covered?
Partially. Up above you, there are those platforms. There's still open sky, but there are support beams that hold up some of these platforms. You can see the gondolas above you, too. They're hanging above.
Are there any sections of this track that are covered completely from sight?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rij will he'll say, Esther, I think we have good pace, but we're going to need to slow down for this corner. He's going to bring the power back and try to get out of the way of anyone else who may be trying to use this corner as a reason to knock someone off. He's going to try to use his senses to look back and look at other racers, see what they're doing.
Sure. So you're trusting you set a sort of little trajectory, like driving a car, and you know that you're going straight, and you just turn and take a look. You see that there are most of the racers behind you. There are 4 racers behind you, 3 ahead of you. And it's all those young racers in prefab models behind you. They seem to be slowing as well on these turns. They're weaving around these support beams.
Reach is going to he's going to say, Esther, I need to find the quickest way through these pillars. Yeah, now, come on. And he's going to use the memory of S3 to try to help him navigate the pillars in a more effective way.
Sure. Maybe even, you attach your data pad and use like a sensor
little hollow,
template.
like template thing comes up.
Yep. And it shows you around the other side of this structure where those support beams are. You can take a good angle. Roll me that piloting.
Yep.
Nice.
13.
Nice. How do you gain the only 2 people after this maneuver in front of you are going to be Gitu and the Manu.
What the other racers probably didn't realize is that since there was another race beforehand, like one of the qualifying races, crashed into one of the pillars and knocked it over. It was open, and it was mapped by S3 before we did this race. So he says, "Oh yeah, there's the hole," and it's a cut-in corner. Basically, cuts the entire corner in half and pushes through, and then turns on the jets as he comes right through into the open.
Even the veteran racer Manu takes that wide swing around that turn, and you just dash right through it. Coming up, there's just a slanted wall, a turn to the right. This part is actually covered, but it's a slight turn to the right. Again, there's no barrier on the outside, but there is a sort of slanted wall that goes up, maybe about 5-10 meters.
Okay.
It'd be very, very tricky to get around and make a passing maneuver there.
We're watching on the holovid, and I say, where did he go? As you go into this tunnel, basically, out, between these pillars and out of view, and then shoot out the other side. And I say, interesting. I say, take out Manu before the next lap.
Understood.
Try not to throw him off the track. And I leave the building.
Okay.
May I?
You notice.
Shoot him with a blaster.
You notice the cloaked man that you've clocked is turning to leave the building.
Okay. I noticed that. So Lisi is sitting here realizing that I may have compromised myself by talking to that bartender. So I'm going to hail her over one more time. I'm going to ask her to...
I'm sorry. I don't know what they're doing here. I'm sorry.
No, that is fine.
She has a tray of drinks of Corellian sludge bombs, whatever they're called.
Reactor cores.
Corellian reactor cores.
I like sludge bombs as a drink, though.
That's the race. That's the race special. Is the sludge bomb?
But it's the same drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to her, it's okay. Do me a favor. And this is right before you guys, or maybe right before you guys are leaving. I'm going to say, you see those 2 over there? And I'm going to give her a note. give them this note and give them a couple of drinks. And the note will say to you, Jake, it'll say, I know who you are. I need your help.
Do you sign it or anything? Like, do we know it's from you?
Yes. Yeah, I want it to be known that it's from me.
Okay.
Give me a plus suave. You're gonna have to get this this woman to do what you want.
9. 10 minus 1, 9.
She looks maybe a little intimidated by you when you are so direct. She says, okay, sure. And as you're leaving, you see these two big security droids just sort of duck and enter beside themselves, and you hear behind you, excuse me, sorry, here, this is from this woman. Turns and points to a woman.
I look at the security droids. I look at the Twi'lek. I read the note really quickly. I'm obviously like in a rush.
These droids are just going to pass you by. They
Okay.
don't seem to notice you.
Can I actually just revise that a little bit? It'll say, I know who you are. I may need your help. And then at the end, it'll say, I'll find you. And I'm sitting there where like I'll somehow will make it known that I'm there. And I'll sit there. And as you guys get up and walk away, I won't make it known, but that'll be what the note.
So I think Zeta stays.
Yeah.
Right.
Zeta stays kind of motionless, standing at that large window that overlooks the pod race.
But I leave the cantina, and as I'm leaving, I just like nod to you. Actually, the Twi'lek language partially uses the Liku for hand for like communication, and I give you a hand. I give you a hand gesture that is specifically something that like non-Twi'leks use to like mimic the Liku language.
Okay.
An incredible head flourish.
Son speaks Twi'lek, as we know from the last game. Almost, it's basically his native language.
Cool.
He grew up speaking it as much as Galactic Common.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
He grew up on Ryloth?
No, but he was raised by a Twi'lek.
Okay. My energy is, I see your message and I respond with a similar gesture, but I guess I seem kind of cold, kind of almost desperate,
Okay.
but still very, you'd have to know maybe, I guess, that I need some help maybe.
Son is used to dealing with people who need help.
Son leaves and he gets on a gondola.
Okay. Slanted wall, no barriers. What's coming up? It leads to a sort of S turn where it's this
Chicane.
Yep. And on the outside, there's no barrier, but you can see lower and off in the distance. It might look like a defunct part of the track, but it looks like a little shortcut.
A little shortcut.
Now, you would have to punch it and head straight off over the abyss. Or you could take the turn. Gidu, Manu they're all taking the turn. You can hear the of thrusters behind you as other racers are slowing down to take that turn.
This is Devin's offer to kill your character.
It's a real ride or die moment.
I don't decide any of that. It's the two things you hold in your hand. And then the dice on the table.
Zing.
Your bow.
Yeah, I see it, S3. I mean, we could cut ahead. Yeah, hit the afterburners. Let's go.
Give me that.
I have luck. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm guided by a force much greater than luck. Trivia question to our audience.
That's a 8.
Okay. You just punch it. You hit it. You feel that afterburner almost pushes the chassis up close to the engines, but then the engines compensate just before
We're
you
gonna
leave.
make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Engines pick up, they flare white. And then you're just off.
S3's freaking out.
You are in midair. You hear woo! And you come down and you slam down. The chassis actually slams down to the ground, and you hear one of those cords that you affixed S3 into the chassis with, just and tumbles off behind you.
I know. Hang on back there, S3.
But from here, it's this straight shot to a curve that loops up, and you just punch it. In the cantina, we see, yes, son.
Can I ask Dante, do you have a jetpack?
Yes.
It's a knockoff checkpoint.
Before
No, this was legit.
San walks out the door and then he stops and he sighs and he turns around and he goes back in.
Okay.
And he goes up to the Twi'lek and he says, "You want our help?
I could use your help.
I need yours first. Come with me."
Damn it. Okay.
We start to leave. I don't know.
Zeta
that
is
works
oblivious to. He's just watching the pod race.
What about your friend?
He's fine.
Those 2 KX security droids, they enter and they stand. There's this sort of wide hallway, that a square part of the room before it opens up into a big round space. And they're standing at those corners just where the room opens up, and they just post up and they stand motionless, and they're just scanning the cantina. But you're able to make your way out.
We get on a gondola.
There's a lot of other people on a gondola. Give me a fortune roll. Just 2d6.
8.
30 seconds and one will be here, but you're standing. There's already a crowd that's gathered to get on the gondola, more than what you would think could fit on one.
Oh, I'm looking for the gondola that is going to go over that 270-degree turn. You said that there were gondolas that go over it.
Yeah, that's like
I imagine
central platform.
That there's probably a lot of people who want to just be on that gondola to watch the race.
Yeah.
But we're making our way to that center platform.
Okay.
That's our goal.
Okay. You're just sort of swimming through people, and you see ahead of you that, there's a sort of a throng of people. You're going to have to push through them if you want to get on the next one.
Okay.
Reej, you take that turn and you come up. Actually, you come up just before the lap, and you're actually in first place right now. You hear the big boom, 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 boom of Gidu behind you. And that's, you turn, you just see this monstrous pod racer behind you, and then you push it again into that first turn, that little quarter left, and then another turn right.
Yeah, I know, S3. I hope he does it soon, too.
Turn 3 is coming up. The gondola gets here, and there's a bunch of people in front of you. You're going to have to part this crowd in order to get through.
Does a Jedi cut lines?
Just throw your lightsaber.
Cut them all in half.
Force jump.
Yeah, I don't know if Lisi can help at all, but you see that I'm struggling to try to get through this crowd to get onto this gondola. Are you you're armored? Are you armed? Do you have big ass blasters?
I got 2 blaster pistols.
Oh, okay.
On me.
Do you have any?
Finesse.
Do you have any force corruption points in Cool right now?
No.
Okay.
Look at him.
Good
Look at
question.
him fishing. Look at him fishing for some rage.
Maybe you should get some.
Yep.
Can I? Who's in charge of this gondola? Is there
There's individual
is there
there are people who
button
operate.
presser, the dumb waiter?
There's a lever puller.
There's a lever puller.
Yeah,
Droid or human?
they're usually human,
Okay.
but there is a sea of people in between you and them right now.
Okay. I am going to. Damn. How are we going to cut through this crowd? I think I can. I know I can do something with the person who controls the gondola. I look at you. I say, I can push my way through, and I can get us on this gondola.
I nod.
So I want to get my way. I'm just going to push my way through, and if anybody looks at me, I just give them I'm a bounty hunter death stare.
Sure.
And I want to make my way up to the operator of the gondola, and
Give me a plus rugged, or you can use plus suave if you want to use that intimidating glare, whichever one's higher for you.
I go rugged.
Rugged, so you're going to be pushing people aside if they want to mess.
5 + 3, 8.
Okay. You make your way through,
Damn,
but
son, 3 rugged.
Yeah.
You're rugged.
Rugged.
a couple of people shove you back, and then they turn and like
And I look and I say, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Move aside.
you actually
Is that the name of a move you have?
Yes, it is, and I did that on accident.
I wouldn't do it
I
if
wouldn't
I
do
were
that.
you. Really?
Yeah, that was
Awesome.
totally on accident.
You actually you let your hand slip to your blaster, and one guy's okay.
Calm down. Put your hands down.
Oh, okay.
Get the hell out of my way.
Okay. And he pull he has a friend there, and they pull each other away. You make it up to the gondola. People are filing out, and you've pushed your way up to the front of the crowd.
I pull out some more credits.
Okay.
I look at the
You got-
operator,
One of the equipment items for the bounty hunter
creds.
is just creds.
which I
Solid.
I figured I'd use it for these exact situations, which is awesome. I walk up to him and I say, "Me and this one need to get on here," or me and this one need to get on this gondola now. And I
Listen,
sent him
lady,
some
we got a
credit.
lot of people trying to get on and watch the race.
You
I
can
understand.
You can take these credits, or you can take this blaster. We're getting on this gondola. You don't want to make a mistake with me.
We cut to the crowd, and you just see a little light come on the top of the gondola, out of service. You step on, and the door closes.
Mumbles and grumbles behind.
Yeah, there's one of the guys that you sort of pushed aside, tries to get up, and then sees and goes and does this
I blow him a kiss.
like a pedestrian in New York when
Yeah.
a car tries to run him
walking
over.
it.
I'm walking it. You get on the gondola. It's only you two and the operator, and the thing just starts.
Not bad. My name is Santavar, but you probably already knew that.
I do know who you are, Santavar. And this is why I need your help. I have tried to capture you before and have not been successful. But there's a bigger fish to fry here, and unfortunately, you're not my target today.
Good news for me, I think.
For now, it is good news. So what is it you need from me?
Well, my matter's a bit more pressing. We need to make sure our man wins that race down there. I look down below.
Pod racer who cut through that little hole in the wall?
That's the one.
That was
You
a
see
nice
he-
little trick.
You see, he's out in front right now.
It seems to be winning.
Well, if he stays in first, we won't have to do anything, will we?
Hopefully not. My target is big. Kind of runs this place. And I need to make sure that this person is apprehended by me and me only.
Son, give me a plus deep.
9.
You hear Lisi say this, and you look over to the operator. He seems to be just turning and watching the race, but he can absolutely hear you. You can almost feel his mind racing.
I say, Lisi says, I am willing to help you if you can help me.
I nod. I say, very well. We need to get onto that platform there. And if my friend Rige, the one in front, stays in front, all we have to do is watch.
And if he doesn't stay in front, do you have a plan for this?
I do. As we get to that platform, I go to get off, and I say to you in Twi'lek, the driver overheard our entire conversation and seemed quite interested. And then I walk off of the cart.
It's not your decision.
Whew.
Quick flash to the cantina, and we see one of those KX security droids start walking into the room, wading through people, and they part before it. That turn 3 comes up. Gidu and his big lunker slow down again. But this time another racer comes out from behind him, smaller racer, and it whizzes past and hits the throttle as Gidu slows down, weaves around him, and comes up and is right behind you as you take this turn 3.
Is this the 270?
This is Manu. Yeah, you turn. It's that turn 3 that you turn, and then
Okay.
it,
And then it's the
opens up into that open platform, that 270-degree turn, and you see that he is looking to make a move on this open platform, and his engines are burning white.
We need to get in front of him. S3.
The camera's like shaking to keep up as Rege's pod is shifting, just floating side to side, and you just hear the behind you of the other racer.
All right, reduce the coupler power. We're going to separate it for a bit. Get a better turn radius out of it.
Give me that piloting. Give me plus Kani.
Yeah, I'm going to do a technical, but this will be more technical than...
Yep, absolutely is. You're pushing your gear to the limit, I think.
13.
With this. And it's... No... For anyone who doesn't speak droid, that is a confident droid who knows exactly what it's doing.
He said, basically said, I know. I'm ahead of you.
And as you...
Did that 12 nanoseconds ago? Like, where you been?
You just take one line this time, that just this nice smooth curve all the way around the 270 degree. And you see that Gidu, the larger craft, actually punches it just in this open area, just picks up more speed. And now the two of them seem to be coming on either side of you.
All right, S3. Before we hit that roundabout, get those overloaded battery cores ready. We're going to drop them as we hit that tunnel. I know they're going to follow me. They saw me go through last time. That's basically my homegrown solution. If you want me to spend anything or...
Spend a piece.
You're gonna bomb him?
Spend a piece. Do you have like gear, like a piece of
creds.
Gear? Yeah, spend creds. Batteries are not cheap.
I'll spend a cred.
Okay.
I have 3.
And I'll give you a +1 on your on that roll. Give me it now.
Okay.
Before we cut back to the action upstairs.
That's a 9er.
So what happens?
A 10, actually.
Okay. +1. What happens when these batteries fall?
There's like a little compartment on the side, and S3's little like manipulator arm goes out and just opens this like tin cover, and these batteries are blinking. They go ting, and then he bursts through that corner in that little tunnel that was made by that pillar, coming out the other side, and you see these flashes of blue behind him as the explosions go off and rocks start to tumble down.
Okay. The inside track was being taken by Manu. Gidu with that bigger craft wants to get just the biggest straightaway before the next turn.
Yep.
Manu's taking that little inside. He was actually looking to follow you into that little.
Oh, I know.
In that little underway. And you just hear like just this like shriek of metal, like raking metal. And as Manu comes around, you see sparks and black smoke, like just in a little pinpoint, but it's just pluming behind him.
Ha! That'll teach him, S3.
Zeta.
Zeta's surveying the race calmly. And where is Manu in relation to Reach?
It looks like you look on that. You have a beautiful view of that center platform as they all come around. You see Rij turn first. You see Gidu coming around the outside, more difficult to see under these support beams. And you see Manu taking an inside track, but you see a flash of blue and smoke just start ripping out of his pod.
He looks directly at Manu's pod racer. He kind of turns both of his hands palm upwards and then slowly closes his hands. And he's going to use remote control.
Okay.
And because the ship has already suffered some damage,
Yep.
The idea would be that it's had irreparable damage now and it's ceasing to function. So I need to roll a black hat roll.
Okay. To access something that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's a very illegal move. 7.
Okay.
And so that's a mixed success. What I was going to say too, just to add a little spice to this, is that if I had succeeded completely, it would have just gone off without a hitch. But mixed or fail, I take either 1 or 2 vitality points because of where I'm at with my hunger.
Take 2 vitality. We'll say that you've been communicating pretty frequently, I guess, with Dio.
Yep.
And that takes energy to do.
So I think he closes his fists And from his fist, you see these fissures start running up his arms. And the pod racer probably starts to sputter and fail as he turns off the power to its left main thruster.
That left thruster was the one that was hit by the battery.
Yep.
And you see that black smoke as you can see coming out of that turn on the other side of this structure. You see that now there's just this big plume of black smoke that's coming out of Manu's craft as it looks like that left engine is seized. You turn and look around as you hit that straightaway, and you see that Manu is sort of that one engine just pulls ahead a little bit before it looks like he disengages the engines entirely. He's out of the race. It's weird. There's only 3 racers now behind the 3 of them. It looks like some of them didn't make it. Did not finish, we say.
As Guido comes, I imagine we're on top of this platform. That 270-degree turn is kind of below us. So we see Guido come around the corner, and I say, he didn't take the shortcut.
You smell smoke.
I was counting on him taking the shortcut.
Do we have a problem?
Yes, but we can fix it. His mind is malleable. Below us, there are 2 tracks, an outer track with a harder turn and an inner track with an easier turn. Guido won't take the inner. He will on the next lap, though. I'll make sure of it. The turn is not in view of the crowd. Get down there and make sure he doesn't come out of the tunnel.
I'm on it.
I'm going to
I wanna jump
reach
off.
out with the force
Okay.
and put an idea into Guido's mind
You're going to incept this guy?
that the only way he's going to get around this Z95 pod racer on that last turn is to go through that shortcut.
Okay. Give me a plus deep because Guido's mind has already been touched by San. And there's already a
Yep.
small level of trust, especially when he sees that Manu's craft is no longer operational.
Because he thinks I want to help him.
He does. On the table, please.
10.
Okay.
Nice one.
Right.
You think he looks up for a moment, but he sort of reaches behind him and opens a flap, and you see it's an exhaust vent. He turns back around. Zeta, behind you, you hear a voice. Come with me, please. You turn and you look.
Zeta turns only his head to look.
Creepy. But then you have to turn and look up as you see a 7.5 foot KX battle droid, security droid, standing over you. The other one is just behind him by the entrance to the cantina.
I will need assistance. He holds out his hand.
The droid reaches out and like grabs your hand sort of very forcefully and locks its arm around you.
As I grip it, I will begin the binding process of a droid to me.
Oh.
Okay. Do you have to make a roll for that?
Sure.
I'm
Why not?
gonna make you make
Yeah.
one
Is
anyways.
Skinny
right?
going to get a big brother?
Why don't you say what the roll is?
Why don't you roll me deep?
8.
The droid stops. Its arm is locked, but not in a way that you can't get your
Sure.
arm out. But it seems to like freeze. It seems like it's conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look on its sort of under its arm that is outstretched. You see a restraining bolt. It's very subtle, but you see it.
Knowing that someone else is exerting their control over it. Zeta says, please release me.
Give me another roll.
Sure.
This is how this is going to be. You have to.
Ruh-roh. I level up.
Level up.
I got a total of a 4.
So here's what we're going to do.
Yep.
You say, release me, and it just cocks its head at you, and we're going to come back to you once you pick out that
Sounds
move.
good.
Dum dum dum.
It's only 2 people in the race now.
Yep.
Ostensibly. Loop around. Easy stuff. You know the track at this point. Do you take the shortcut again?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me act under pressure. +1.
I know S3, but we needed all the advantage we can get.
You see those those fuel gauges are going between yellow and red.
Yep. All right, punch it. It's spinning. It's spinning. The dice is spinning.
So much spinning.
That's insane.
It's still
Pod
going.
The
It's
pod is
intense.
in the air.
It's a 5.
It's a 12.
You this time, just before you land, you just that
Increase
afterburner,
the repulsor power.
Yep, and you just glide right into this, and then right up into that loop.
We're not even going to need those jokers. I'm going to win this on my own, right, S3? Well, our own.
Gidu's going to take it as well. I'm going to roll dice for the first time
Hell
in,
yeah.
in a Powered by the
You
Apocalypse
don't
game.
roll
Nice.
dice.
That's illegal.
He rolled a 12.
You come down and you boost and you feel good. And then you just see over you.
The shadow.
And that upward sort of slope and turn, he just hits it in the middle and just into this like gliding swing. His chassis goes out over the open thing as these big, heavy boosters just carry him up. The 2 racers now, 3 behind, maybe 2 at this point, but no one's watching them. Everyone, every eye on every holo display, every viewing, every platform, every railing is occupied right now by slobbering pod racing fans. And they are whooping and hollering as the 2 racers zoom together along the start line to begin the final lap. Lisi, you look down and you see this sort of scaffolding that goes down, and then just a chunk that is busted and broken away. There's some tape that has been pulled off by the drag of these racers that have come through it. You see that's the shortcut.
Am I still up in the gondola?
No, you've actually exited onto the platform.
Okay.
There's a sort of catwalk that goes around this large, it looks like it refines gases. It's this aerosol smell in the air, and you can hear just like whirring and humming, not just of the pod racers, but of some large machinery inside the platform or inside the building.
I'm looking for maybe something. I'm looking to compromise either. I'm either trying to compromise the actual race field or compromise the pod racer itself. Can I look around for maybe, you said gases? Maybe I can cause an explosion, or how wide is this turn? Or like how much?
It's a big platform, so there's a lot of space.
Okay.
But the shortcut is directly below you. It hugs. It almost goes through the scaffolding that was broken away. It's very, very close to the building. It's very dangerous.
Okay. So my initial idea is like, I'm thinking I can either maybe take a shot at the pod racer, but I don't want to make too much noise with the blaster pistol.
If you were to shoot a pod racer, it would be visible upon
From everyone, right?
If someone were to look at the pod racer, they would see like someone shot my fucking pod racer.
Like when he comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah, it comes out the tunnel.
Whenever if you disable the pod racer with a weapon, which you might be able to, anyone would see that someone
rigged.
did this. Yeah, and then you get the goon squad.
Unless he went off the edge.
Unless you went off the edge.
I gotta kill somebody.
Give me an assess.
Yeah, I'm
Give me that assess as you.
But I'm correct in assuming where the shortcut is, like it's out of view, right? It's like
Yep.
a tunnel, basically, right? So
Yeah.
he can do things without people seeing if he gets down into that tunnel.
Yep. If Lisi is clever enough.
What is it for assess?
Assess is plus Kani.
Kani? That's a 10, 9 plus 1.
Okay. You get 3 hold, and you can ask any of these questions that you like, and I'll answer them truthfully. I'll give you some other stuff too if I want to give you some more information after your questions.
How about, how can I avoid trouble or hide here? What is my best way in, way out, and way past?
I think that's like choose one.
Oh, is it choose one?
No,
Yeah,
you get 3 because you rolled
No,
a 10.
no, but that
The
question
best
in
way.
particular
Oh,
is like
yeah, right.
pick one of
Okay.
those 3 things.
Okay, so how can I avoid trouble or hide here? What's my best way out? And how about
I'll start with best way to avoid trouble. Make it look like an accident.
make it look like an accident?
Yep.
Okay.
Best way in. There are service ladders that lead down the scaffolding.
To the scaffolding.
Yep. So you wouldn't have to do this standing out on the platform.
And then where can I gain the most advantage? All right. I feel like I might know that. That's the area that's sealed.
If it looks like an accident, then there will be no suspicion that's drawn, and it will simply be regarded. He's making a risky move. Pay the price.
So I'm hoping my idea to make it look like an accident is maybe I can cause some kind of explosion, or I don't know, make it look like maybe something exploded and fell. Maybe
there's a gap. There is an external sort of gas line that is protected by some of this scaffolding. The scaffolding is undamaged, but there is an exposed gas line that definitely could be flammable. You check the little label because it's a safe. It's built by people, but not necessarily maintained by the qualified individuals.
Mm-hmm.
There is an explosive gas line, a pressurized gas line that is out in the open.
Yeah, I want to make it look like there was maybe an explosion. Maybe he took that shortcut, clipped. Maybe he took that shortcut, and then somehow an explosion happened. And
Sure.
To try and deter him, take him out. If he has to die, he has to die.
Okay. So we see Lisi just jump off and engage those jump jets, and you can get onto that into that service ladder, into that service chute that's still open. So you can, when the time comes, you can make something happen. Zeta, how are we coming on that move?
On the droid move,
Or on your move?
well, I failed. So
You get a new power. You get a new move.
yes, I was looking at a few different options. I don't think any that would pertain to this immediate instance.
Okay. Then I need to know how you're going to deal with this droid.
What does the droid do after I say release me?
It just sort of holds its hand in that sort of locked position.
Mm-hmm.
But you could pull your arm out easily enough. It didn't squeeze down, but it seems to be frozen. Again, conflicted considering.
What is the other droid doing?
Looking at it.
I begin walking with it. I begin moving in the correct direction.
Right this way. And it turns and it's holding your arm and pulling you.
Yep.
Do you need further assistance?
I do not.
Begins walking, and then it leads you out of the cantina, and the other one flanks you and grabs your other arm, and they start walking you like Passion of the Christ. You
Or
fall
like,
once.
is it like under each arm?
They're small, so when they're both beside you, maybe their hands like loop around your upper arm so that they're standing.
I thought you said they're tall, aren't they?
They're very tall.
They're very tall.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're not very tall?
No, I am.
You are very tall?
Yeah, lanky.
Okay. So they're holding you by the arms.
Sure. We're coming out of the cantina, right?
Yes.
I know the location. The staircase was the way to the.
The tower staircase leads up to like a patio, with an entrance into this tower.
Can I make an assess roll to see where we're going?
I'll tell you this without rolling.
Sure.
That you're being led in that direction.
I open up my comm.
Okay.
I say, San, are you there?
You get no answer.
San, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm being brought to the tower.
Brought. Against your will?
I'm being escorted by 2 security droids.
One of them turns to you. What are you doing?
I am relaying directions.
It turns and continues walking. It's the one you mind fucked.
We'll get you out. Soon as it's over.
Understood.
You're behind Guido, and he takes that third turn, that U-turn hard, and now you're coming up. There's that platform, and you think if something drastic would need to happen to slow him down, because this is where he picks up a lot of his speed.
S3, I think he's going to take the shortcut. We got to follow him.
You're right behind him. His chassis is almost hanging over your engines. He looks down at you condescendingly. Lisi, you hear the roar of those engines coming around. And that shortcut is right below you. There's a gas line within 5 meters of where they take that shortcut.
So I whip out my visor that's on my head. I couldn't remember the word visor earlier. Slip it on and just like, I can see my target coming. But I'd like to look at that gas line.
Yeah.
And
There's a little HUD that highlights it for you.
perfect. See? I just,
Select, it gives you a chemical composition.
yeah, of course. I would like to.
Material data safety sheet.
Yeah, he's got Jarvis in the visor.
I want to make an explosion without it looking like. I have a blaster and stun grenades
Okay.
that I feel like that could cause explosion.
All
Could cause explosion. I don't even have English.
you would know this. All these pod racers spit fire. All
Okay.
you would need to do is rupture that gas line.
Okay. How the hell am I going to rupture this gas line?
A good blaster shot would do it.
I'm going to give it a good blaster shot.
Okay. If it does explode, you won't be able to find a trace of a blaster round hitting it.
Okay. I'm going to take out one pistol,
Okay.
get the visor centered on it, and I'm going to take a shot at the tank when he's close enough. A meter or two away.
Sure.
So you can't avoid it.
So
Yeah.
so he can't avoid it.
Okay.
And I don't want to kill him, but
Let's
am I
see what
rolling for
happens.
it? Yeah.
Give me plus rugged or plus I don't know. This kind of seems
Could be
like
cool.
It's a deep. It's kind of a
It's
deep.
kind of deep.
Deep.
It's kind of deep. Give me plus deep
Let's deep.
because this
He's got to feel for the right time.
you do. You got to trust your feelings.
Can I get another one? I lost that.
Another
Nice.
one.
Oh, Lord. Woo! 7 + 1, 8.
Ooh.
That was scary.
You shoot, ding, and you just hear, but just a second after, this pod racer, this big 4-engine behemoth, just comes through. Just in an instant, there's this big flash, this big incendiary bloom. What'd you get?
Yo, it's spinning again.
10
Nice.
on my
I'm going to
jacked
take
up
those
senses.
dice away from you.
Flying through the
S3
explosion.
is going crazy. Bing, dim, ran. Oh yeah, I see it. And I whirve out of the way and go the long way around.
You move out of the way. Gitu goes hard into that turn, and you just see it's like there's an explosion, but his this propulsion, this engine just blasts that air and just incinerates, and there's this line of fire that comes out behind him that would have scorched you. And then you just hear this like explosion, this cacophonous metal like shredding, and you see two of those boosters just like in heaps just shoot across left to right across your field of vision, and then just scraping metal as Gitu's craft just spins to a halt, and you just
Right through the flames.
right through the flames, whiz by him, and then you just cheers. You can hear it over the hum of your own pod racer. Just this rabid yell from all of these people up top. Just flags waving. You feel like liquid fall on you from somewhere, and you come up. Do you take the shortcut again?
Yeah.
Roll it.
And you die.
Yeah, I know.
No one wins.
Haven't you learned from playing Mario Kart?
I know.
Shoot. It's Rainbow Road.
12.
Wow.
You
You're not
do,
leveling up.
You spin.
you do a fucking barrel
I do a
roll.
roll, yeah.
Do a barrel.
There's a little like wall on the side of this like the shortcut ramp, and I hit it with one of the engine repulsors, and it spins the craft up in the air and does the full 360 before hitting the other side.
Every hollow vid is just focused in on this racer as whizzes by. You just hear of a odd sounding broken horn, and everyone just cheering and yelling. Zeta around you, just there's so much noise. There is so much noise. It is disorienting.
I think Zeta stumbles, and conveniently he's being supported by two droids.
Do you require more assistance?
I do.
They lift you up.
He's a Megazord now.
Mecha Shiva.
Mecha Shiva!
Give me a cool plus cool, Lisi, as there is a fire that comes up towards you.
After I shoot and the explosion goes and the fire comes towards me, I say, Hockey, keep me safe.
Is that your god?
We'll find out later.
Crossover.
Plus cool.
Yep.
Whoo, 5. That's a
Mark
failure, right?
experience.
No, plus cool. That's a 4, baby.
Oh,
Mark experience.
Oh, God, I'm about to get charred.
Take 2 harm.
Ouch.
So that goes to your vitality first. So you inhale a
That's that
ton
fake
of smoke.
Beskar armor.
Yeah, it's this, and you get this burn. Any of your exposed skin is just seared with this hot air and fire, and you instinctively hit that booster and you shoot up into the air. San, you see this from where you're standing. You're still in the gondola.
I'm on the platform.
Or you're on the platform.
Yeah. We never actually resolved what happened with the gondola driver.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Flashback.
We kind of got distracted by all the action.
The pod race.
Go ahead.
Gondola. The gondola's gone. It's gone back
Okay.
in the
Unless
excitement.
Lacey did something.
Yes. Before we depart,
You knifed him. I'm not sure where you lie on the scum and villainy scale.
I like to be clean because I don't want him to follow me. I wrote down too. I was like, do something with this dumbwaiter, and I have no idea. I walk up to the dumbwaiter. Actually, I keep calling him dumbwaiter. I walk up to the gondola, the lift controller.
Yep.
And I say, I know you heard everything we said. You want to make some more credits? You want to get out of this shitty job?
He doesn't answer, but looks at you expectantly.
I leave a card, and I say, I could use help processing some people. Keep this gondola going, and I promise you it'll be worth your time.
The gondola's still there. The man standing inside.
Ooh. All right. I like how you just changed the narrative.
Well, yeah, because I wrote that down. I was gonna maybe. I was
Yeah,
either
we
gonna say
just kind
like,
of jumped ahead.
I was gonna be
Yeah.
like, remember this face, I'll kill you, or like, hey, keep this here.
I like that.
Give me a suave, anyways.
I like how can I help him? Can I help out?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm gonna roll, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Ooh,
No,
5.
I do not help out. I failed.
I rolled a 5.
-1 from the. Do you interfere with if you
No.
Yeah, I rolled a 6
or you're
minus
just
1.
exposed to the danger?
Let me check.
I'd almost say, yeah, that makes sense. Or you expose yourself to danger if there's danger.
I've got an idea. I know how I expose myself to danger.
Okay.
When he does this, after he walks away,
She
she walks away, I look at the gondola driver and I say, I suggest taking their offer. And I kind of wave a hand, and it doesn't work, but I don't realize that. And the gondola driver knows what I tried to do.
That is spicy.
Recurring villain, the gondola driver.
It's going to be my superhero character, the gondola driver.
The finale. And you're in Coruscant, and a gondola appears.
And
The door opens.
Actually, too, right before we leave, can I just I'll look at San and say, where should I meet you?
I'll wait here for you.
Okay. I'll be back. Hopefully not burned. Wink.
So cut back.
We cut back. The celebration. Did you do a victory lap?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do the victory lap.
You fall off the side and die.
I take the shortcut, roll 2, and I'm dead. No, I don't take the shortcut.
Victory laps are slow, right? Because you want
Yeah.
everyone to see
Yeah.
it.
You see there's a couple other like disabled craft. You also see like
I'm letting S3 pilot it, and I'm standing like Captain Morganing on top of this pod.
Was
Fucking
there a
hot
second
dog.
place? Did anyone else finish the race?
I think you said there was 1 or 2 more behind.
there was one other racer who finished the race.
One other racer
who finished the race.
second. And
Did I kill
last.
the other one?
High mortality rate. It's like the Isle of Man for pod racing.
The rookies really wanted to break out and maybe took a few more risks than they should have. Especially, they see some more experienced racers up front take these shortcuts and these hard turns, and they didn't make it.
Do we know if Guido made it?
Guido lived,
Okay.
but his vehicle is severely destroyed.
Okay. I only murdered a vehicle.
Yeah, he lived.
We didn't kill anyone, guys. Good job.
Sweet.
I actually don't want to get close to Rij because he's got a lot of attention, and I don't want to be seen talking to him and on a million holovids across the sector.
Okay.
So I kind of keep my distance and let him just enjoy the spotlight. And I wait for Lisi to rejoin me on the platform
Okay.
as we watch the victory lap below.
Rij gets out at the start finish line as the announcer or whatever comes up to him on like a little hover platform.
Yep. It's a little alien.
He grabs the loudspeaker and like the hollow vid mic. He says, "This one's for Kani and all my friends on New Taurus who didn't make it out."
People fucking cheer.
Yeah.
They love it.
They have no idea what I'm talking about, but they love it.
Regis is going to stay here.
Yeah, right.
I love it here.
It's like the D&D scenario where you can just use mend and retire as a magnate.
A tailor.
Yep.
You see someone like lifts S3 out of the pod and places him down, and like a wreath goes around him.
His head is spinning.
There's like a liquid gets poured on him, like some sort of champagne or something.
An oil bath.
There's a couple of sparks, and his repulsor jets sort of misfire a little bit. We come back up to we see those pens, those trophy cases, as Typhon would call them, of all these prisoners that are on display in the square beneath the tower. We see Zeta struggling to walk. This loud noise seems to be disrupting him, and these two large security droids at either side.
Zeta gathers his feet underneath him and stands tall again, kind of surveying the scene. He sees Dio, makes eye contact with him. He says, "I no longer need assistance."
They both turn and look at you.
Do they let me go?
Give me a thing. You have a thing with droids, don't you?
Yeah, that's a 10.
Get a thing for droids, right?
Turns up. It no longer needs assistance, and they both drop their hands away from you. Come with us.
When they say that, I'm going to spend a luck point.
Okay.
I'm going to take a step back, and a large personal speeder flies from off screen and collides through both of them and rips them across the plaza. You see Zeta's fists closed by his side.
It's cracks.
I thought he was
forming.
kidding. What?
Fissures growing up his arm. There's just a scream of people yelling and moving away. And we just follow a couple of these people as there's just like smoke and like chaos and people moving around. And they turn and look, and they see one of those cells that was lit by that blue screen. It's no longer lit. And you just hear, see what happens next time. The Wookiee win.
We made the Wookiee mad.
We let the Wookiee loose.
We let the Wookiee out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Wings of Kani. Intro and outro music by Galactic Empire. Check them out at Galactic Empire Official on social media. Our Nasty Graham theme music by A Wilhelm Scream. Dramatic voiceover by Liv. Check her out at Musings of a Polyhedron on Substack. Check us out on nastygrahampod.com. You can get full bios of all the cast. You can get all the links to our social media, links to the feed with all of our back content. So head on over, check out the Nastygram Lounge on Facebook, and chat with us, and tell us your favorite Force powers.
That's nasty.